Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me?
Not a game. We talking about practice.
We thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
Decide a different league. I'm coming. I'm flat out coming.
It's my quarterback. And if you guys do that, man, it's unfair.
Oh my goodness. Hello everyone and welcome once again to another edition of the Sports Report Podcast. I'm your host, Mr. William E. Morgan. We got a lot to talk about tonight. We got Sweet 16, baby. We got the NFL, we got the NBA, we got Major League Baseball. We got a lot to talk about tonight, y'all. Let's go ahead and get the party started. Let me go ahead and bring in my co-host. He has forgotten more baseball than we'll ever know. Let me bring my man 7 and 7. What's up? How you doing, brother?
I caught it not being muted this time before I started talking. I'm proud of myself. That's a new record for me. One time in a row. Man, thank you for having me. I'm so glad to be here. We are gonna have some fun. I can't wait to make fun of the NFL players thinking they could stomp on Team USA in flag football. I cannot wait to talk about that.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get on that. We're definitely gonna get on that. Let me go ahead and bring in this other person. He is with me on Saturday nights as well for the Geek Gauntlet podcast. Bring my man in, Mr. Endo, Mr. Anderson, if you will. Mr. Endo. What's up, brother?
You know, it's a very good thing I live in the state of Iowa, so I can say that my Iowa Hawkeyes made it to the Sweet 16 and that Iowa State made it to the Sweet 16 because my bracket sure as hell got screwed over on day one. How does North Carolina freaking lose to VCU on day one? Shout out to the Hawkeyes. Shout out to the Cyclones. Shout out to the Cornhuskers. John, you're lucky you're not on tonight because I would have some choice words for your Tar Heels tonight, my dude. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, my goodness.
That's all I'm going to say.
All that.
That's all I'm going to say.
We're going to get into all that in just a moment. Let me go ahead and bring my man, the next person. He is the ultimate. I'm not going to say LA Lakers apologist this time. I'm not going to do it because I know the only reason why he follows the Lakers is because LeBron is on that team. But the minute LeBron leaves, he's going to hop the said team and become that team's greatest apologist ever. Let me bring my man, Dan, the dick in. Dan, what's up, man? How you doing tonight? Doing good?
So that's how it goes, huh? I see what's up. No, Ando's shouting out those Huskers, baby.
Am I lying though?
Dude, they deserved it, dude. After that game against Vanderbilt.
I don't need to apologize for LeBron. There's plenty of LeBron James apologists around.
We're gonna talk about that.
I'm sorry, LeBron isn't as good as Michael, bro. He's up there.
Here's the question that I have for LeBron is they just went into the Magic the other night. How did LeBron not drop like 90 just to show up Bam? Like that would have been the petty kind of thing. Like, oh, you want a stat pad and stay in when it's a blowout? Let's make this interesting and just
what's up, brother?
Completely dump all over him.
What's up, brother? Appreciate you
What
coming to the
up?
comments, man.
I'm gonna take care of that. Hold on.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll let you deal with that 7.
Yeah, thank you.
Jackass. Anyway. Yeah, jackass, and fuck you. There you go.
Don't need
Anyway.
that on our show, man. Don't need that on our show.
No,
we don't need that in general. We definitely don't need that in our show, man. Come on.
No, definitely
Do
not.
better. Do better. Do better.
Do better. All right, let's go ahead and talk about this upset. We got North Carolina, the Tar Heels, getting their ass bounced.
Up by 19.
I will say this. I called that in like 3 brackets. So, but yes, they got their ass bounced. Let me ask y'all a question. Is Hubert Davis in trouble? 7, I'll start with you.
I'm kind of happy after that. Sorry. I short and simple. I would say there's at least conversations, especially in something of that kind of avenue with what happened there. It's
I'll be more
Rippy,
simple,
what's up,
7. I'll be more simple. Well, what was your question?
Should Hubert Davis be fired?
Does Ando like redheads with big boobs?
Yep.
Simple as that, sir. Simple as that. Simple as that. Next question.
He's a fat dog heavy.
Dan, let me ask you this.
Just how are you up? That's the thing that I love about college basketball is no team is truly out of it, especially in the dance, especially in March Madness. How is it that you have a 19-point lead with 15 minutes to play, and you can't take out a team that most analysts projected you not even to have a problem with? But yeah, I can't say that it's all on the players because it could have been bad coaching. It could have been bad execution as well, but you got to start at the top. And for all of the faults that North Carolina had on Friday, he took responsibility. He was like, look, I was the one that screwed up. We didn't play it. We lost. Like, hats off to him for being responsible in the loss. But I mean, you can't just say sorry. I mean, that's a blue blood school that should at least be in the Sweet 16. So
right. But that was the case with a lot of the blue bloods, though. I mean, Kansas dropped out early.
Yep.
You had obviously North Carolina.
Kansas played a really tough St. John's team. And I think there are a lot of teams that are going to struggle against Rick Pitino and that St. John team.
For sure. But that's the tournament, though. I mean, at this point, you're playing teams that are all, I mean, they're all running on all cylinders. Obviously, they just won an NCAA tournament game. I mean, they're playing at the top. That's why it is so good.
Can I say that I'm just happy that Florida went out?
That's what I was going to say about, Florida, too, is another blue blood that obviously got bounced. So,
Go Iowa.
There's no true Cinderellas in the tournament, but
I would say Texas is a Cinderella, being the first. Well,
Nebraska's a fucking Cinderella, dude. They didn't win an NCAA tournament game before this. So, like, if there's an actual Cinderella, that's Nebraska's the Cinderella, but they're not because they're from a big conference. So, yeah.
And what did I tell y'all? I told y'all last week. Them SEC teams, some of them be suspect and will let you down when you least expect it.
Told you Florida was going to be the first number 1 to go out too.
You did call that. You did. And I want to say this about Kansas, though. And this is not to take away from the fact that we all talked last week about how St. John's is probably going to be one of the, Elite 8 Final Four teams. Like we had conversations about that last week. We knew Kansas was going to fall to St. John's. But I don't think one of the things that I don't think has been talked about with Kansas this year is as much as they recovered, I think we really saw to a point who Kansas really was at the start of the season. They just got into a better groove for a while. But I watched a lot of Kansas basketball this year, and they won a lot of games, but I don't think they truly showed the blue blood standard that you would think of for KU basketball. And
part-time Peterson.
And I think that because of who they lost to, I don't think this is getting talked about enough, but Kansas wasn't really the standard that we have for KU this year, and it's getting ignored to a point.
Kansas hasn't been the standard that KU has wanted to be since, I mean, for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
Obviously, Zeke Mayo played for them last year. Bill Self probably needs to move on.
I think he'll retire after this year. I think he'll have deep consideration for it.
I think so too, because sometimes, not that you can't coach, but sometimes your message falls on deaf ears, particularly when you deal with kids. And I think his message has just fallen by the wayside.
Well, I had somebody I know in the program, and I will say this: it was not Zeke Mayo, who told me he really wasn't. Who told me that he lost those players last year in the middle of that. That's why a bunch of guys transferred out. They basically had a completely new team this year because he lost a bunch of guys last year. Apparently, his thing was he would. I don't know if he just did it once or a couple times, but he, like at the end they'll do like a breakdown, like a family thing in the locker room, and Bill Self was like getting pissed and like not being in the family breakdown things at the end. And some people said some stuff to him and it was a kind of a big deal. He kind of acted like a baby about it. So that was kind of where he lost that team last year. So go ahead.
I was going to say that I think that Bill Self is truly, some of this is a product of what we've seen with a lot of other coaches at that tier, not just in basketball, but in all college sports, where with the NIL and the change in the dynamic of the power that students hold, there are certain coaches like Bill Self, Nick Saban, and some of these other guys that they don't carry the weight in that locker room that they used to.
Yes.
That these guys, if you're starting in a Power 5 school, chances are you have a $1 million NIL deal at least. So you're the message has to be different, and the coaches that have adjusted have found success, and that's why we've seen some of these other programs surge. But these older blue blood type programs that didn't alter their approach and thought that their brand was going to continue without making any adjustments, they're starting to see that that's not the case. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here with teams like KU, Florida, and the Tar Heels and some of these other programs. You have to change your approach or you're going to fall by the wayside.
Well, the brand can continue. The brand can be the thing that the young men go to, right? That can be the thing, but the coach's message can be a completely separate thing. But then you got guys like Rick Pitino, who by all accounts just yells the entirety of any practice game, right? Just yells at the players. He's very like that kind of old school coach is still thriving, has thrived at how many different schools now, right? To get this. So like
him and John Calipari too.
Calipari. So it's got to be this, the program can still have the name, because I think that it still does. Obviously, Kansas still means Kansas. North Carolina still means you go play basketball in North Carolina. That's pretty prestigious, right? But now it's becoming to the point where like there's going to be a ton of parity because everybody can pay people now, right? But it's like it puts extra pressure because now you got to back it up because these guys giving this money out are wanting results, and you know what I'm saying? Like they're wanting results. Like how much was what's Florida's roster? Florida's roster had a bunch of money on it.
Yeah, considering they were national champions last year.
So yeah, bunch of money on it, and you got all these guys giving this money, like they want to see results. Obviously, there's some guys who aren't doing it. I think Bill Self's going to move on, and he's going to use health reasons as an excuse. I think, but it could be a good excuse, honestly. You know what I'm saying? Like if that's wish him all the best luck. He's probably a good guy. It's just I don't think that they're going to have to switch it up at Kansas. Sharon Collins would be a great. Sharon Collins is a coach in Kansas City right now, I believe. But he's taken his team to like 3 or 4 state title games now in a row or something like that. So that'd be interesting. But that's taken high school to. But he probably has a pretty good feel for how the players are, obviously.
And I would say that Kansas team still is stacked enough. Even if you put in a new coach, they may not win it next year.
Well, Peterson's
back
gone
in the tournament. Yeah, they'll be back in the tournament. Yeah,
Peterson's gone. I think Florida Badunga's gone. But like we said, I mean that brand can just attract, and obviously who they hire as coach is going to matter. But that brand is going to attract 5-star guys regardless. I mean,
yeah,
especially in state.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I'm going to ask a question here because I just had a thought about something a bit off of what you said, Dan. So you're talking about that high school coach in Kansas City taking over KU.
Yeah.
Would it are there more programs that should be looking at dominant high school coaches simply because it's going to be easier for those guys to relate to these 18 and 19-year-olds when they're coming in? Most of them are only going to be in there for a year or two anyway, because the good ones are going to the NBA after that.
Right.
So should you have those coaches because they're going to be able to connect with these kids a little better? And the coaches, I would feel like the high school coaches coming in aren't going to be as fazed by NIL deals as these older, more tenured coaches that are now having to fight. They're looking at it as they're fighting against it instead of it being part of the product now the way a high school coach would, because they're just coming in with it already there.
Right. And you would think that he would just be more in touch with, like how they're going to act and everything, as far as like, it is a different dynamic because those guys are usually just born around that area. That's why they go to that school, right? Like they didn't choose to go there. They don't get paid to do it, blah, blah. But within how that age group of men acts at, what I'm saying? Like that's definitely a good, like how you would translate it better. And it's Sharon Collins, obviously. I mean, Sharon Collins is one of the best point guards in history of Kansas. He's one of the best players in the history of Kansas. So he would have obviously those things. Like what's he do on Coach Carter, where he's like, hey, if you need to know my qualifications, look up there on that board right there. Yeah, they said look at all these plaques I got right here. Like that's Sharon Collins just going, like, so if you have any problem with, so I don't think that'd be a problem. But yeah, it would definitely be a better transition from high school to, instead of being 65 doing it like you did in the 70s. So I mean, yeah, for sure.
All right, so let me ask you guys this. I want to go over some of these Sweet 16 matchups. West-South, you'll see that March 26th on Thursday. We got number 2 Purdue versus number 11 Texas. Who we going with?
I think I'm going to go Texas.
Purdue's one of those teams. Yeah, go ahead.
I like how Texas is played because Gonzaga was my runner-up, so my bracket is completely smashed now. But no, I think Texas is playing with house money at this point, right? First 4, you usually don't see them getting out of the first round. And here they are in the Sweet 16. Purdue had trouble with Miami, and I don't think Miami was the best team from the ACC this year. I like Texas. I think Texas continues to go through.
Dan, who you liking now?
Purdue's one of these teams that's probably just, as far as like continuity, they got the senior point guard, Braden Smith. These are the kind of the schools that win in the tournament for sure. Like, cause they got the shooter, they got they got all these guys that have been there for a second. They're all experienced. They don't fucking panic when it comes down to these big games and stuff. I filled out one bracket, by the way, and I had Nebraska just roll through the entire thing. I had Nebraska roll all the way to the, So, hey, my bracket not busted yet.
Yeah, sure.
Not busted yet. Probably busted everywhere else because I'm pretty sure I had Florida going like to the Final Four or something. I don't fucking know. Like I watched a couple of guys on TNT like fill out like those fucking Florida, like 3 of them had Florida winning it. And I was like, analysts, huh? Analysts, huh?
Did I take this before I go to U7? Did I take this a little too far? I did 25 sheets of integrity. 25. Did I take this a little too far?
I filled out one, and I just filled out a second chance bracket.
Yeah.
Well, you filled out 25 brackets?
I did 25 brackets. 25 brackets.
You actually filled them out? You didn't autofill them?
No, well, 1, 2, 3 I did.
Okay.
3 I did autofill, but the rest, yeah. And some of those brackets also busted. They ain't even fun.
They're kind of fun. I get it.
Because
they're kind of fun.
Oh, yeah.
And you're being smart you're being smart because if you just pick different games in all of them, you have the most chance of getting a bracket where you can get it perfect, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
So I get that strategy just to go with like a bunch of different fucking options. Like, hey, this team, like make a different winner every time and shit. Cause that's probably what you have to do, honestly, to get a perfect one.
I picked Florida in a few, but not in a lot. I still got a lot of my teams up there. All right, so go ahead. Texas versus Purdue.
I got to go with Dan on this. When you get to this level in the tournament, experience matters, and Purdue is one of those schools that does have some consistency in this area with success. I like Purdue here. I don't hate the story of Texas. I think that they've done a lot of great work this season. I think that if they continue, they keep their guys around. I think next season you might see a deeper run in the tournament. But for me right now, I got to go with Purdue.
Is Rick Barnes Texas's coach?
I thought he was.
Anybody know that? I thought that's what it was too, but that just seems like he was the Texas coach, and I'm fucking that up. But Rick Barnes is team is in the NCAA tournament right now, I believe.
Yeah,
the only reason I bring that up is
Tennessee's coach.
Okay, so they got what they got beat last night.
Yeah, Sean Miller is the coach for Texas.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So Rick Barnes is another one of those guys that has that old school approach thing that probably, you know what I'm saying? Like he's been around forever. So yeah, it's just dude, the species that will thrive will not be the species that is the strongest or the species that is the whatever. It will be the species that is most likely to adapt. So like that. Yeah. So like the coaches that will last the longest are the ones that will adapt to the landscape accordingly. So obviously Patino seems like he yells all the time. He's obviously adapted at some point, right? I mean, he adapted to yell about different things at least, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right.
What about you, Will? Who you got?
Let's go to. I'm taking Purdue. I think the experience factors is too much.
No.
Going to the next game. Number 1 Arizona versus number 4 Arkansas.
Are we documenting these so we can go over these next week?
We'll have them on video.
It's recorded.
Well, yeah, but like we're gonna go back and who's going back and okay. I'll make it out.
Yeah. Arizona versus Arkansas. Dan, I'll start with you. Who you get?
I'm gonna go John Calipari. I'm gonna take John Calipari in Arkansas. The Little Rock lesbians. No, no, I like. Hey, they're gonna have. They're about as like Arkansas's fan base is really similar to Nebraska's fan base in the fact that they have basically one. There's no in-state pro teams at all. So their Arkansas Razorbacks are their. That's it. That's So they love the Razorbacks. They're the kind of people that'll call in like that dude from Alabama and be like, do you know what the mixture of muriatic acid and gasoline does to the roots of a 2,000-year-old oak tree? You're about to find out. And right before he hangs up, roll motherfucking Tide.
Hey.
He said, sir, you didn't actually do that, did you? Guys, goddamn right I did.
I did.
Goddamn right I did.
I did it.
I took them trees at Toomer's Corner.
There you go.
Yeah. Yep. Sorry,
7.
Arkansas.
7. Who you got? Arizona or Arkansas?
Arizona's loaded though.
Arizona. I'm gonna take Arizona. They are loaded. I've got in the 8. I've got Arizona and Purdue, and I think that's gonna be a really good matchup. I like Arizona in that game.
7. You live in Arizona. Is the weather really that nice? It's nice there, right?
You can literally wear shorts year round with the exception of like 2 weeks. Usually like it's usually either in December or January. There's like 2 weeks where you have to actually wear jeans and a hoodie. But the rest of the year after 10 a.m. you can be in shorts and you're going to be comfortable.
That's awesome. But sometimes it's like 118 degrees.
Right. You have to wear shorts. And where U of A is at down in Tucson, they get even better weather because that's like an hour and a half outside of down south of Phoenix, and so they get even warmer temperatures because they're just that much closer to the equator. So they'll see some cold just because they are out in the desert more, and Phoenix keeps some of its warmth just because of all of the asphalt all over there that holds the heat. But with Tucson though, like you might as well be in a Mexican beach town. Honestly,
I was gonna say if you lived in the country in Arizona, it'd be fucking like awesome
at night,
right?
Yeah. I mean, at night you would get it would be cold. Like you would get down like maybe 50, 60 degrees at night. Especially during spring, fall, and winter.
Because the desert, obviously.
Because it's the desert, sand does not hold heat.
Right.
But during the day, like shorts and a t-shirt, flip flops, like you're gonna be fine.
Okay.
It's fantastic.
Ando, who you got in this game? Arizona or Arkansas?
I got Arizona. Hats off to Calipari. I think he'll have his team ready to play. But Dan said it best. Arizona's depth. I think Arizona's depth is going to help them out in this game.
I picked Arkansas just because I think it's funny that it's Kansas with AR in front of it.
Yep.
Makes no sense.
Can't win it. Arkansas will.
Arkansas will take over and win.
Yeah. And to be the Arkansas Pirates.
the easiest way to spot somebody is actually from Kansas is they will call it Arkansas and not Arkansas deliberately, because there is a city it's outside of Wichita here called Arkansas City. They will not call it Arkansas City. You call it Arkansas City here, they will have no idea what you're talking about. And the Arkansas River that runs through Wichita, not the Arkansas River, like everywhere else with the brain calls it, it's the Arkansas River. It's the dumbest
That's
shit in the
badass.
world.
It sounds like it's pretty dumb.
Yeah,
All right.
they're just arguing over some petty shit out there.
Yep.
Well,
And
they got
hey,
nothing
and
else to argue
and
about.
Will, if you've ever went to Arizona and you're a female, there's a guarantee that you've been fucked on a houseboat. So that's good.
Hey. All right, y'all.
Who do you have, Will?
I'm going Arizona.
He's like, I like the houseboat fucking thing. Arizona.
No, Will would only like that if it were an Asian houseboat.
There you go.
Well, yeah.
There you go.
A houseboat? No.
There you go. All right. We got next game in the
house
West
sauce.
South. We got Houston, number 2, Houston versus number 3, Illinois. 7, I'll start with you.
I've got Houston in the Final Four. That program, I honestly, I think they should have been number 1 for the South bracket. Houston, I think, is probably one of the best college basketball teams this season as a whole. I do think they're better than Florida. I really
Houston's
like
been good for a second. Houston's been good for a second. And it's because they have a lot of talent in the area, for one.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, there's a lot of goddamn people in Houston. All right.
You don't have to
A lot of
work
goddamn
to recruit,
people.
really.
And they're just like right in the middle of Texas, which is even more goddamn people.
Yep,
And it's like, yeah, so there's, I mean, they're just a hot, like that's obviously in like the University of Houston now has some like, they have some Muerta at this point. So they have some kind of like pull obviously too. So it's like, hey, if you get to go play basketball at Houston, it's like, oh fuck, it's like that's especially around there, I'm sure. And if it's like, they want to stay close to home or whatever, that's obviously they got a huge pool of kids to choose from, which is basically what a lot of that is. But they also do a really good job of running the program. I mean, that's Kelvin Sampson, right?
Yep.
Okay. So hey, there's another guy. That guy's been around for fucking ever. So like Kelvin Sampson, obviously one of the nicest guys in fucking college basketball, as well as like, he probably is just a good dude and people can just, what I'm saying? Like even these young kids can tell like, hey, this is a fucking good dude. Go play for this guy. So yeah, that's how he's adapted, I guess. It's like, he's just a fucking, genuineness crosses all borders, I guess. So,
it took him a minute to turn that program around because he got hired back 2013, 2014.
Yeah. And they were going to fire him. They were going to fire him. He was on the hot seat and a couple years after that. So like they were just going to give up on him.
I love that lighter.
Party animals. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, Mr. Ando.
I got Houston.
You got Houston or Illinois?
I got Houston. I don't know. I'm just something about Illinois just doesn't sit right with me. I think they're one of the Pac-10 team or one of the Big Ten teams that should have lost with Wisconsin, but they've proven me wrong. I like Houston. I think Houston will take it.
I mean, you got to give the Big Ten credit. They got like 16 from a Big Ten still in the tournament. So
Michigan State, Nebraska, Iowa. Hold on. I know the other two. Give me a second.
One of them we're going to play Purdue. Yeah.
And who's the other one?
There should be one more, but I don't think we either.
Illinois, Nebraska, Iowa, Michigan State, Michigan, Purdue. Those are the 6.
Yep. Dan, who you got
in the Houston game?
Yeah, you got Houston.
Yeah,
right?
I'm gonna take Kelvin Sampson.
Yeah, me too. I got Houston myself. All right, we're going to Dan's territory. We're going to start with him. Number 4, Nebraska versus number 9, Iowa. Ando versus Dan. Who y'all got? 7, I'll start with you.
Yeah,
there we go.
I always had a good run, but I really like Nebraska.
I can see it.
The run's gonna go a little deeper.
Shit.
I don't know that Nebraska gets past Houston. In fact, I would say that's probably where their run ends. But they have a solid team. I think if they can keep it consistent, they're another team that you could see go deeper next year. But Nebraska just looks good this year. I'm definitely going Nebraska.
They do. They look great. I'm gonna go at Nebraska myself. Mr. Ando, who you got?
I got Iowa, by the way. I didn't know.
No, bullshit, dude. Bullshit.
Oh my goodness gracious!
I got
I got Iowa in my bracket. I don't know.
I got a buddy of mine listening to the show. She is a big Nebraska fan, so she's gonna kind of jump for joy when I say Nebraska over Iowa. Iowa.
Kirby.
Iowa should have lost that game to Vandy. They really should have.
The SEC for nothing.
That's true, but I wish McCaffrey was still the coach and not the new guy, Ben McCollum. You guys are right. Nebraska's playing hell of a good basketball this year.
Mhm.
I just think Iowa stops. Like they had a great game against Florida, but yeah, I think it ends there. I think Iowa loses to Nebraska.
Dan, I know
You taking Nebraska?
I'm taking Nebraska.
Okay.
I know you're going with Dan, but I know who you going with Dan, but I'm gonna ask anyway.
He said he was going for Iowa.
I got Iowa. Yeah, no, I got Iowa. I think current. I'm just kidding. Are they going to figure out? Yeah, obviously I'm taking Nebraska. Obviously I'm taking Nebraska. I got a good luck charm too.
I'm gonna say
I got a good luck charm.
What's a good luck charm?
You don't need to know about it because if I tell you about it, then it's not a good luck charm anymore.
All right. I'll just say
it's a special pair of underwear that I like to wear, Ando.
I'm gonna say it like this. I'm going for Nebraska in my second chance bracket, but if Iowa wins, I would not be sad. This is one of those games I'm okay with either one of these teams winning.
All right, let's move over. Oh, breaking news. The Chicago Bulls get a win, 132 to 124.
Who did we beat? Washington?
Breaking news, baby.
We beat the Rockets?
News. Yeah, they beat the Rockets.
And we beat them by more than 2. Holy shit. Go Bulls.
Yeah. Oh, somebody's picking Nebraska.
Yeah,
the Detroit.
That's my friend.
Yeah.
That's my friend.
How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Appreciate you being here.
You heard Michelle, you heard me say it first. I think Nebraska's beating Iowa.
GBR, Michelle. GBR.
Go Big Red.
All right. Let's move on over to the East Midwest. That's going to be Friday, March 27th. We got number 1 Duke versus number 5 St. John's. Ando, who you got?
My bracket, I got Duke. Again, Rick Pitino, hell of a coach. He's got his guys ready to play. But Duke's been on something else this year. I like how Duke has been playing. I usually hate the swagger that Duke plays with. Everybody in the family says Duke is puke. But you need swagger to beat a coach like Rick Pitino, and I think Duke does that.
7, who you got, Duke or St. John's?
There's always an upset in this round, and I think this is where it is. I really like St. John's in this. I think this is where it's at. The program, and first of all, I like Rick Pitino as a coach. I think he's great. But
he's a dick, but he's a good coach.
He gets shit done. And that's
except in the NBA when he's the president and head coach of the Boston Celtics.
Facts.
He gets shit done. And I think that those guys, the games that I've seen from St. John's this year, they looked together. They communicated, they moved the ball well. And not to say that Duke doesn't, but there is, I mean, St. John's, like they're a popular basketball school, but I don't think they're really considered blue blood by any stretch.
It's New York. It's New York, baby.
Yeah.
They're just doing well.
Fun fact, that's where Runner Test went to school.
Well, yeah, that's why they have a lot of NBA alum. Well, that's just because of New York's, it's like the New York Ivy League essentially. So, and then you go there and play basketball. Hell yeah. But yeah, it's just just a nice New York school, just an old nice New York school, No, but yeah, and obviously Nebraska or New York is the mecca of basketball or whatever. I don't know about all that, but you could probably say that Lawrence, Kansas is actually the mecca of basketball. Mm-hmm. Really, just because it was, if something's invented there, that kind of goes a long way to calling it the mecca or something. Anyway, but yeah, I guess that's the St. John's thing, but. Yeah, Duke. If I don't think anybody asked me, but I also have a friend that watches the show, Ando, and she would say that Duke would win too. And yeah, but Duke Blue Devils. Cameron Boozer is a stud. His dad's at every game, and his dad has some hardcore beard dye, that he wears in his beard.
Yep.
Just let it go, Carlos. Hey, Carlos.
Thank God he does something because he didn't do anything for the Chicago Bulls.
Cam was like what, a legit 6'8", 6'9"?
Cameron, I think he's I think he's listed at 6'10", but yeah, he's probably as tall as his dad.
Yeah.
And then what's the other one's name? I always forget the other one's name. They have two kids. I mean, he has two sons who start.
Yeah.
Cameron and God damn it, fuck's his kid. It's a C. It's a C name too. Caden. There you go. Yep. Caden's a guard. Caden's like 6'5". So
that's hey, I'm not sleeping on him at all. Not at all. I think he's gonna be a stud. But everybody here's going with Duke.
Yeah, I've
got St. John's.
You got St. John's?
Yeah.
Duke. Okay. Next game, number one Michigan versus number 4 Alabama. I don't trust the SEC for nothing. Give me Michigan. Who you got, Mr. Endo?
I'm sorry, which game are we talking about? Michigan and Alabama? Or are we talking about Michigan State? Because I thought we were doing East, not Midwest.
East Midwest.
All right, yeah, we'll do Michigan and Alabama first. I got Michigan. I don't like Alabama. Fuck Alabama.
I don't trust
roll motherfucking Tide, Ando.
I don't trust the SEC for nothing.
Roll over Tide. Roll the Tide over. Fuck that.
I don't trust
Ando. Do you know what the mixture of uric acid and gasoline does?
I can watch an article. I can watch an article about it and find out. So.
7. Who you taking, Michigan or Alabama?
It kills him, man.
How Stephen A. said Alabama.
Alabama.
The problem with this matchup to me is that both of these schools have a unique history of messing up at the worst time. And so I think that this matchup is ripe for that, to the point where you could almost wonder at some point, like, is one of these teams trying to give it away to the other, and the other's like, no, you win this game. I want to go home. I think at the end of the day, I got to go Michigan, but this is one of those where if it goes the inverse, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
So, dude, is dude back? I don't know if you guys know this. One of the guys, Alabama guys, got suspended
because of transporting weed.
Yeah.
We went over that. Okay, we went over that, but they're still in the tournament, right? And he's back.
Stay off the weed.
Stay off the weed.
Stay off the mother.
Because what was it? Brandon Marshall couldn't stay off the weed. Oh! Fucking Brandon Marshall.
Yep.
Yeah. No. Anyway, fair what we're talking about.
I just
Michigan, Alabama.
I
don't know. I'm gonna say Michigan, but
you mean Michigan all day.
Is Bama's dude back, or we not figure that out?
I still think he's suspended. I don't think they've had a ruling on that.
I don't think he's coming back this year.
So without their best player, I mean, shit, I'd take Alabama if they had the best player. And now who's all the rest of the team getting fucking weed from? You know, so they're fucking freaking out. And it's like we want, what are we doing? Let's go Michigan on that game.
All right, so everybody
the weedless Crimson Tide.
So everybody going Michigan except 7.
No, I'm going Michigan as well.
Go Michigan too. Michigan me. All right. Staying in the state, we got number 3 Michigan State versus number 2 UConn.
This is the best matchup of the.
I agree.
Of the Sweet 16, I think. I mean,
and I'm gonna start with you. Who you got?
I wouldn't mind either team winning. I like
Michigan State.
Dan Hurley. I like Dan Hurley and I like Tom Izzo.
I like Michigan State in this one.
I went with UConn in my bracket, but if I lose this game, I would not be upset. I'm going to go UConn. There's something about UConn basketball. It's just like UNC and Duke. They need to make it to the Elite Eight in the Final Four, or it's just it feels
shot.
It feels off.
Yeah.
Plus, I like the idea of Duke and UConn going at it in the Elite Eight.
Yeah.
I love that matchup. Every time Duke and UConn go at it, it's fucking amazing basketball. So I'm going UConn, but I would be okay if Michigan State wins.
7, who you got?
I'm still firmly convinced that we could see either UConn or Houston take the entire tournament. I'm going UConn.
Dan, who you got?
I'm going to go UConn just because of what Ando said. I think that a Duke UConn matchup would be a lot of fun. I honestly, in this game, I think this is as much toss up as you can possibly get. I think the line right now is like is a point and a half or something like that. So I'm not even gonna actually act like I know who's gonna win. It's gonna be a close game. It's probably gonna go down to the very end of it. Yeah, I'd like to see UConn. Plus, I like Bobby Hurley's style. I think he's kind of a fuck you type of guy. Yeah. So I kind of like that about him.
He's kind of like that old school. He's an old school coach with that new school attitude. Like, I'm gonna get my guys to play. I'm gonna get my guys to play. Fuck what the media says. If you got shit to say about me or my team, bring it to the presser. Let's go. I'll go 12 rounds with you guys.
For some reason, and I can't put my finger on it, Michigan State calling my name. I got to go with Michigan State on this.
Well, Tom Izzo in that defense is calling your name probably will because yeah. I mean, this just lockdown fucking like. So there's a team around here. It's my high school's quick story. It's my high school's rival, about 40 miles away from where I live right now. They have went to like fucking 4 or 5 state title games in a row now in basketball, and they hadn't won a state title in basketball like for the 100 years of their program before that, correct? And they start going to state title games, and it's literally just because they changed coaches. And I know this coach, and this coach was in another town around here, and they just changed coaches. He just runs a different scheme, runs a different defensive scheme, and that's how much coaching affects basketball if you really look at it. Because like this dude comes in and they haven't. This is not a we win state title games every year type of basketball program, dude. This is a dead basketball program, and in a year he takes it to they've won like 3 straight fucking or 3 out of the last 4 state titles in our class, so something like that. So like, and that's the only change was the coach. So that shows you how much like the scheme and just the overall just attitude of a team can change it that much. I'm not saying you can do that in college because you probably can't. Yeah, but other than, I mean, and let's not act like, rural high school Nebraska basketball is really that competitive. But okay, it is. There's a lot of competitiveness in it. Okay. All right. There's not a lot of talent, but there's a lot of competitiveness.
Just because there's nothing else to do in Nebraska, that's why it's competitive. It's more competitive than other places because there's nothing else to do.
Maybe. I mean,
at least that's how it is in Iowa. So
it's definitely like, yeah, these guys are going to compete. Mostly because they don't have any talent, but that is no, but that's like, so that just shows you how much like it can change though, just from a scheme. So like Tom Izzo's scheme has obviously worked because it's tried and tested true. Like that shit's fucking obviously works. So like he's going to run that, they're going to run that to a T, and can you score against it? That's, gotta execute.
Oh yeah. Like I said, man, I just think Michigan State's going to muck it up. I really do, and I think they're gonna end up pulling it out. All right. 7, you got UConn. Ando, you got UConn.
Yep.
Dan, who you got? You got UConn?
Yeah, I'm going UConn.
Okay. You're
going Michigan State.
Yep. All right. Final game. We're gonna be looking at the number 6 Tennessee Volunteers versus number 2 Iowa State. I'm gonna start with you, Mr. Ando.
If it were the Lady Volunteers coached by Pat Summitt, all day, every day, I would pick Pat Summitt. But it's not, so I'm going to go Iowa State and represent the Iowa. Since the Hawkeyes aren't going to beat the Cornhuskers, I'm going Iowa State.
You're saying when Pat Summitt was a coach?
Yeah. Oh, dude, yeah. Pat Summitt is like, I would put Pat Summitt on my college basketball men or women's Mount Rushmore.
Well, in coaching, she probably should be on the Mount Rushmore.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Absolutely.
For sure. I got Iowa State. 7, who you got?
Iowa State.
Iowa State. Okay, Dan.
I'm gonna go Tennessee just to because I think this one's about as toss up as it can be a toss up too. So yeah, I'm gonna go Tennessee just again, and I hate Iowa. So there's
I know.
Just the pure unmitigated gall for them to say that they are somehow the agricultural centerpiece of the United States is absolute and total utter garbage and should not be listened to by anybody. if you know anything about, farming, which, I'm your guy.
Iowa State's up there, though. Iowa State is
no, it is. It 100% is.
It's very. You can do it real quick. Nebraska, Iowa State, Iowa. Do it like that.
Yes.
Here's a fun fact for you: the states of Iowa and Nebraska put more oxygen into the air than the Amazon rainforest.
Yeah, I believe it.
I must say that again. The states of Nebraska and Iowa put more oxygen in the air, convert more carbon dioxide out of the air than the entire Amazon rainforest. So that's kind of fucking cool.
It is.
And also a thing. But you have to, you basically have to cover your entire state in plants to do that. So, there's that part, but still.
We got corn and weed, sir. Corn and weed.
There is a lot of weed. But it's not the kind you want to do. Some of it looks like you could fucking just pick that shit right off there and smoke it. And I'm sure if you smoked a lot of it, you might get a little bit high, but there's also dispensaries here. We're not this isn't the Wild West.
Yeah. I was gonna say again, we're Iowa. What else do we have to do? We have
to go over state lines to go to a dispensary here.
Yeah.
Same.
Damn.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
Damn.
It's not legal. It's not legal for medical or recreational in Nebraska. So
they just legalized recreational. It's coming, bro.
I think so. They legalized medical in Nebraska by vote, and then they just took it away. They just said that nope. Actually, we're going to argue that more. And so so that was weird. But yeah, we voted it legal, the actual people, and then you know how that goes sometimes. We won't get into that. This is not a political show. But I swear to God, that we voted legal. Look it up, Tony. I don't know. You didn't know about this. Dude, we voted legal marijuana, to be medical marijuana, and they just said no. They were like, well, wait a second. After we voted it completely good. Look it up. It's been going on for a year and a half now. We voted it over a year ago now, and they still medical still hasn't been legalized. No, the vote was a big deal. It fucking went through and everything. And now they're just
according to the DISA website, which talks about marijuana legality by state, Nebraska's legal status is mixed with medicinal yes and decriminalized yes. Iowa, however, is mixed legal status. Medicinal is only CBD oil, and it is not decriminalized.
Wow. Yeah, so we actually have it freer than fucking Iowa does for sure. Yeah.
Kansas is actually fully illegal. You cannot smoke weed in the state of Kansas.
Yeah, Missouri is, I believe. Look it up real quick, Anna. But Missouri is recreational legal, yes, and medical.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, but they say we have our medical thing, but that's not an actual thing. You can't I can't go to a doctor here and then get medical. There's no dispensaries. Yeah. So yeah, it's very strange.
Give it some time; they'll start coming up.
For sure.
Back to basketball.
All right, you guys. I did want to go over to 7 real. Oh, there is. I want to go real quick. So you had something you wanted to bring to our attention, my friend.
So, Team USA, the Team USA flag football team, faced off against 2 teams of current and former NFL players, including NFL legends like Tom Brady. And between those 2 games, the NFL players lost to Team USA by a total of 82-27.
Who was on the USA team?
Brady, Stephon Diggs, Jalen Hurts.
Joe Burrow, quarterback, one of the teams.
Okay,
yeah,
so
Saquon, OBJ, Gronk, Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs, and Jalen Ramsey were all intermixed between these 2 teams.
Yeah. Okay, so who you giving shit to? Who'd they lose to then?
The first team, the
actual
USA
Team USA football team. The team.
That's USA what I'm saying. Who's on the actual Team USA football team?
It's just regular Team USA flag football players. It's not names that we would know from professional football or anything. That's what's really funny is you've seen and that's what I want to talk about because you've seen all these NFL guys talking about how they wanted to represent on Team USA for the Olympics with flag football being in the Olympics, and they can't even beat the regular Team USA flag football team that exists for actual international competition.
Well, for one, I know that we're talking about flag football, but put those guys in an actual padded situation, and they don't stand a fucking okay. So just as long as we're on that same.
This is my argument, though. They're different games.
They are, and like yes,
there was video. There was a spot where Brady hit, I want to say it was OBJ, but I can't remember who it was. Hit a receiver in the end zone, like in the corner, like it was a dot.
Stephon.
Yeah, it was Stephon Diggs.
Because Brady was standing there in the pocket, and a dude came at him, and Brady, I shit you not, Brady just went, took a step back.
Gave him the okey doke.
Step back, and then
little side swish out of the hips, and then dropped it down. It was legitimately good, but the defenses for both of the teams were not ready. They didn't. I don't think they realized the speed that these guys were actually able to play with, and the offenses weren't ready for the actual flag football defense. They were expecting. I think they were playing it like it was an NFL game, and they didn't have pads, and that's not what flag football is.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, that's two different games. Like, I'm even saying, like, as far as taking that flag off of somebody is not a normal. That's not a normal action. And there's practicing that for sure. Like there's practicing getting that flag off of somebody, like just going up to them, you know what I'm saying? Like when they're going past you, whatever, like you don't have to worry about their fucking, like you can just, if you can snatch it, like you're good. Like but that's different than like being in a situation where like, you can let a guy get a hand on you, but you're just going to run through it. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't do that here. This is like there's actual like skills involved to that's why they got beat for sure. Cause those dudes are probably just pulling those flags like fucking, yeah. And like in the defense, yeah. And isn't it? It's more compacted too, isn't it? There's not. It's not a full field, is it?
No, I think it's no. I don't think
80,
the field is the same. I think it's
80-40.
It's not as wide. I think you're right. I think it's like 80-40.
They went all eight-man football.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely not 11-11. It should be 6.
There is. If you really want to see like the guys that are probably going to be better at flag football would be like those schools down in Texas that play 8-man because they're used to that. They're used to that lineup a little bit more. And obviously, there's still a difference because it's no pads and stuff versus what you play in Texas. Yeah. But 8-on-8 versus 11-on-11, that in itself is a different dynamic of the game.
Yeah, you beat a safety in 8-man football. You beat a safety, it's gone. There's no angles. There's no. Like it's if you're fast, speed kills in football, period. But speed kills in 8-man football, like you wouldn't believe. It's nuts. I mean, the 3- guys, if you think about it, you're not taking away a third of the field for the 3 less guys, right? So you actually have like, if that makes any sense, like the dynamics of the field are not broken down enough to take 3 guys away. It should actually be probably only 2 guys. If you think about it, because you go 80-40 and 150, right? So like you're taking more players out of the equation than you are field out of the equation, right? So that creates more space. That creates more space just naturally. So like there's more space for every player to cover. So it's like speed kills. So because you get people on an island and you beat one guy, you're gone. There's no, there's no.
Here's the thing that I wonder though. I'll get you guys' take on this. Now that these guys that would be interested in playing flag football for Team USA that are NFL players, especially some of these NFL greats like Brady and Jalen Hurts and so on, are we like, do they have time to be able to develop an understanding of the difference in the game so that they could be a part of that? Or are we at a point where this is a realization we have to actually accept it? We're not going to see NFL players in the Olympics. We're going to see Team USA flag football closer to where it stands now. And maybe a couple of NFL guys because things can translate. Like I think somebody like Tyreek Hill, if he's not in jail, could, or Xavier Worthy if he's not in jail, or Rashee Rice if he's not in jail. Could still. I think receivers.
Or Brandon Marshall if he's not in jail. I'm just kidding.
No, he's got to stay off the weed.
Off the weed.
He's going to go to the wrong stadium for the Olympics. He's going to go to some like youth football club thinking he's going to the Olympics. Why is everybody so damn short?
Why would he do that, Ando? Because he's stoned? Is that why he would do that? Because he's so out of sorts from being so stoned.
So high,
like he showed up at the wrong place.
Before I got high.
But like I feel like wide receivers and guys in the secondary on defense, I think might be able because they're more built around speed. Like Dan was talking about, speed is such a huge factor in the flag football game. I think they could translate easier than like your defenders, your middle linebackers, and some of those guys that they're not ready.
Well, on top of the fact that you're not going to want a middle linebacker in a flag football game, period. Because what you want is hybrid. If you're going to have defensive players, like you just want fast guys in
Right.
flag football. Like you just want, because there's nobody to block. Therefore, you being a brick shit house really doesn't make a difference. Like it doesn't like, so you can be like, the physicality completely goes out the door essentially, because there's no actual
You're not
contact
hitting
to it.
anybody.
Like, yeah, it's like there. So like you would want the smallest guys. Like Tyreek Hill is a perfect example. Like you would want Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill would be a badass. I don't care if Tyreek Hill can fucking take a flag off or not. You ain't fucking taking the flag off him. Essentially, if he doesn't want you to, you ain't doing it. So like there's there's guys like him who would just translate immediately offensively, obviously, because like offensively you don't really have to make any changes other than, hey, somebody pulls your flag off, they blow a whistle, you're down. Like you just keep going, you know. But I bet those dudes that played for Team USA, I bet they knew how to make moves that get the flags away from you instead of just like moves that make you miss, or moves that, hey, you might get a hand on me, but I'm going to run through it. Right. Like there's, those are different moves at that point. Like you have to, like they're making different, like, yeah, like stay away from the waist instead of everywhere else. Right. So like, that's probably why they got B2. Cause like they're just little nuances to it. Cause all those guys do is play flag football. So like they know exactly where the fucking pull the flags at. They can let you run past them and get you from behind and shit real quick. Do you know what I'm saying? Like they can pull it from behind and stuff. So like they just know the little nuances to it. I bet that's probably why they're way better. So yeah, let them play. Like they know the game better. Like I think that the NFL guys were probably being cocky about it and being like, oh, well, obviously we could just roll over. Yeah, in a real game probably, but like this isn't a real football game, guys. This is a whole different thing. Like you guys think you can just like translate it? No, not really.
Something else I thought. This is the last thing on this. So as I started to really think about this, something clicked for me, because one of the things, like, if for anybody that's followed regular professional arena football, you wonder, you see some of these guys, like, why didn't they get a shot in the NFL? Why aren't they getting that call? Why do we only have a handful of people that truly were able to go from the arena game into NFL and find success, like Kurt Warner, Chris Horn, and a couple of other guys?
Yeah.
So who is the difference in the game truly the reason why these guys' skill sets can't translate between these three different games, which, yes, they're all football, but they're all different games.
Yeah.
So is that different skill set that's required to play that game, is that why we're not seeing that translation into the NFL, or from the NFL into flag or arena or whatever, that on the surface a casual fan might think this guy could go play in the NFL, or NFL players could be your average Joe that works as an electrician in a flag football game, when in reality they can't.
Yeah. It's two sides to the same coin. Like, football is football, but if you start adding rules and changing how things are done, you completely change the way the game needs to be played.
And I think arena and 8-man and 11-man are all pretty similar. Like, I think that those three can be translated through pretty, like, because there is contact, there is, like, it's the same dynamics to tackling and all that stuff.
Yes.
But when you get to flag, the flag is just a weird thing. Like, trust me, I've played flag football, I've played tackle football. Like, flag's just a weird, it's a weird dynamic. It's like sometimes you just want to stop these motherfuckers so you can grab the flag off. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to just literally like hold, like I used to do that. They used to fucking call flags on me because I would literally I'd go up and like basically tackle them, but keep them up and then grab the flag because I couldn't do it. Like I was like, what the fuck?
Stand them up long enough for somebody else to grab the flag.
Yes, or like I would just hold them real quick and grab it, right, which is illegal. Yeah. So like that's why it's weird to me, is because like I'll miss a tackle just for missing the dude's flag. Like, why am I trying to like stick my hand in there? You know what I'm saying? Like I don't even know what that's about. Like, but those guys are just obviously good at it. Right. Like I don't know, it's more precise for sure.
All right. Before we move on to some NBA, because I got some NBA questions I want to bring up. I just want to remind everybody, as you can see down on the bottom of our ticker, this episode is brought to you by Maono microphones and the new PD200W microphone. You need wireless, we got wireless. If you need XLR, we got XLR, as you can see here. And if you need USB, we got USB. So check it out. Maono.com. Go check it out today. All right. I got a question for you guys.
I'm gonna have to give me one of them.
I'm gonna bring it, huh?
So I'm gonna have to give me one of them.
Oh yeah. Gonna bring you up first, Dan. Your Lakers are playing really, really well right now.
Yeah, they lost tonight though.
Yeah. But
they lost by three.
Only by
three.
Yeah.
Blew a 9-game winning streak, but they've still won 12 of the last 14. So
So let me ask you this. Do you think they're playoff contenders or championship contenders?
Well, they're definitely going to make the playoffs. So yeah, they're definitely playoff contenders. They're definitely going to make the playoffs. That's not. I don't think that's even a like just how high a seed are they. I think that they'll probably stick around in that third seed. I would imagine
3-4.
And then yeah, they're definitely get. I mean, they're going to get out of the first. They're going to get out of the first round, especially if they're a 3 seed. Yeah, they're going to get out of the first round. They're going to draw. They're going to draw somebody like
Houston.
I don't even know who it would be. Yeah, Houston. Like, and they just basically strongholded Houston the other night. Like, they're playing better defense because they do have a lot of good defenders. That, dude, like I talked about on a show last week. Like, Luka is the weirdest player ever. Like, he's the strangest thing that you'll ever watch play basketball if you do it on a regular basis. Like, you don't even know. It's like some nights he'll come out and be 3 of 17, and you're like, he's the worst player in the NBA. And then the other nights, he's like, I mean, obviously he's an MVP candidate. His numbers were fucking ridiculous. He hits clutch shots a lot. But he does goofy things in the regular season. He doesn't play defense in the regular season. I haven't watched that much playoff Luka, so I don't know if that changes in the playoffs. Obviously, he took Dallas to a finals with basically nothing.
Yep.
What was that, 3 years ago? So he did, like, obviously it translates to the playoffs. He has big playoff moments. He hits big, but if they come out and he has a game 3 of a playoff series where he looks like the lost Luka, it's weird, guys. I'm telling you right now, it's the weirdest thing. Like, sometimes he just fucking gets bored. I think he gets bored and it gets weird. And that's why they kicked him out of Dallas, is because they were just like, we think we can win long term with this guy because it's the weirdest shit. If every 3 games we're gonna have he's just gonna drop the weirdest egg that you've ever seen, because it's not even like he's not gonna score 30. Here's the thing, and it blends in with his games because he'll still score 25, 30 in some of these games. But when you actually watch the game, like if we sat here and watched a game where I'll just pick one out of these ones I'm talking about with Luka, and we 4 sit there and watched it, you guys would be like, that's the worst player on the floor right now. And I'd be like, I know. And he'll have 38 and 8. And you'll be like, that guy is the worst player on the floor right now. And I'm like, yes, he is but sometimes he's the best player on the floor.
Yes.
A lot of the times he's the best player on the floor, but you can't have every 3 games. And like I said, I don't know if that happens in the playoffs. Maybe he just gets bored in the regular season and that's just a weird thing he does, but like, it's strange. But yeah, I think they're definitely, to answer your question, Will, yeah, playoffs, they're definitely going to make the playoffs. That's not even they're going to make the playoffs. How high a seed are they going to be? That's a big deal. Cause if they do draw Houston in the first round, like Ando, I'm assuming they're scheduled up to be. If they ended today, what other teams are down there in that 7, 8?
Yes. So the Lakers right now are at 3, 2 games ahead of the Nuggets. The Nuggets, Timberwolves, and Rockets are all within a half a game of each other between 4, 5, and 6. Houston has a 3.5 game lead on Phoenix, who's currently in the 7, who has, significantly enough, a 4.5 game lead on the Clippers. So it's really between Denver, Minnesota, Houston, and maybe Phoenix. So one of those 4 teams will draw Lakers. I think if it's the Sun, the Lakers advance. I think if it's the Timberwolves, I like the Timberwolves over the Lakers. If it's the Nuggets or Rockets, I think it'll be a coin flip in 6.
I think I don't want the Nuggets and I don't want the Clippers, actually. So like I know the Clippers are like low on that. They're like in the 8s and stuff like that. I don't want the Clippers or the Nuggets, but I will take the Suns all day. Yeah. The Timberwolves, that's a tougher matchup because Ant tends to play nights out against the fucking Lakers, but in a 7-game series, I don't think that they're that. That's not that big of a.
And Randall and Gobert are 2 really solid support teams, or 2 solid support players for Ant.
Yes. Right, and it's like they're probably built. Like I think the Timberwolves are kind of built for the playoffs, to tell you the truth. Mm-hmm. But so I don't particularly like that matchup. But we get Houston or fucking what was the other one? Phoenix.
Denver, Phoenix, and Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm good on that. Like the Clippers are who I wouldn't want out of like a lot of those teams. To tell you the truth, the Nuggets.
The Clippers are 8 games back of that 6th seed. Which, however, the Rockets did lose today to the Bulls, so crazier shit.
You never know. Crazy things happen. Yeah. Now let me.
So I think that they are championship contenders. Will I would say that can they win a title? Like that's getting. I don't know, dude, because they're gonna have to like. I don't think they can even win the Western Conference at this point because obviously it's San Antonio.
Yep.
San Antonio and Oklahoma City are obviously.
You got OKC. You got the Spurs.
Oklahoma has clinched a playoff spot
Already.
San Antonio
Mhm.
has already clinched their division at
Yeah.
54-18. So what? That's 72.
It's like
so
12,
10 games
11
left to
games
play.
left in the season.
10. Well, they got 10.
Yeah.
Oklahoma City has 10, and the Clippers have 10, or the Lakers have 10. So the Lakers are not getting the number 1 seed. They have a shot at the 2, but they're 8 games back with 10 to play, and San Antonio owns the tiebreaker, so I don't see that happening.
We're going to be 3 to 4. We're going to be the 3 or 4 seed.
Yeah.
And we're going to get, and hopefully we don't get fucking Denver. But anybody else, anybody else outside of San Antonio and Oklahoma City, LA can 100% beat in the series.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, I think it's going to be one of those 2 teams in the Western Conference Finals, obviously. And
Yeah.
you're probably going to have to go through one of them first, I would imagine.
If not both,
Yeah.
you may
Yeah,
have to
if
go
not
through
both,
both.
yeah.
to get to the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. So no, to get to the Western Conference Finals, if it holds right now, the Lakers would beat the 6th seed. The Spurs would meet the Suns or the Clippers, and I can see them beating both. So in the second round of the playoffs, the Lakers would meet the Spurs.
I don't like
Yes.
that matchup. I don't
Yeah.
like
So no. The Spurs win that. The Spurs win that all day.
Yeah.
And I think Oklahoma City wins all the day against LA too. But
Yeah.
anybody else, they'll buzzsaw through. Yeah, I think that they'll get as far as they have to play one of those 2 teams. San Antonio is definitely getting the second round, so we can expect that to fucking happen probably. Or if it's Oklahoma City, I think it. So yeah, are they going to get to Western Conference Finals? Probably not. But like, do I think they're a threat to get, like, if they could beat one of those teams? Yeah, obviously. But like, I don't think anybody's going to be one of those teams though.
Or if Oklahoma City has a down series.
I'd be super upset if we didn't have Oklahoma City and San Antonio in the Western Conference Finals though.
Yeah.
Just because I want to see that series at this point.
Yeah.
And I think that's the best series. Like, obviously I would be happy if Braun and friends went to the Western Conference Finals. That'd be great.
The only way that you could have because you can't avoid either one. Because if you go as the 4 seed, you still have to take on Oklahoma City. Because Oklahoma City, the worst that they can finish is 2. Which
I want to set up a hypothetical real quick. Ando, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to talk over you.
No, you're good. What's up?
Hypothetical. LA goes through San Antonio and Oklahoma City.
Yep.
And wins an NBA title.
Nope.
Okay. And LeBron averages a triple-double in the finals.
Nope.
He's still not.
And I'll tell you why. And I'll tell you why. And I'll tell you why.
I knew what was coming.
And I'll tell you why. First off, and probably my best reason to push back against that, I still think Boston's the best team in the East. And I think Boston is better because of that depth and the way that they're playing right now with that chemistry.
But
they don't even need MVP Jason Tatum. You just need all-star Jason Tatum to come off the bench.
Not the question, Will.
That's all they need.
if they beat them,
That's all they need.
does that change the conversation on LeBron's GOAT status?
Does that change if he rolls through and wins this title against, say he does that exactly what you're talking about. Say he goes San Antonio, fucking Oklahoma City in the Western Conference Finals, and then the fucking Boston Celtics in the NBA Finals, LA Boston, and he averages a triple-double, hypothetical. He's not the GOAT still.
No.
You wouldn't sit here and tell me he's the greatest player of all time.
Hold on.
At 41 years old.
No.
Let me ask this question. Did Michael have an actual gauntlet that tough that he had to go through at any point in his championship runs?
I would say his final season, he had to take on the Jazz with Stockton and Malone.
Mm-hmm.
He had the Pacers push him through 7 games. The only series that he had to go 7 games through his NBA playoff career that he won.
Reggie Miller.
Yeah, but dude, I mean, it's the Pacers. They met the Pacers 6 times a year. They knew who they were playing. I think they met the Heat in the second round, if I remember that year. And I think the Heat took them through 5.
Don't forget the Knicks.
No, I don't think they met the Knicks that year.
We're going hypothetical, but we're going hypothetical with this and saying that he would roll through this.
I think it was the year before they had to go through the Knicks.
I'm taking a look. Hold on.
But
but like hypothetically, at 41 years old, he rolls through the entire playoffs.
No.
And wins number 5.
No.
Okay, no, we're not gonna. I'm sorry, we're not gonna use that year, Will. Yes, the Bulls beat the Jazz and the Bulls beat the Pacers, but then they had the Charlotte Hornets, who was the 4 seed, and then they met up against that really bad New Jersey Nets team.
I
So
remember that
2016.
I remember that Nets team, but I still think
no, you can't even use 97 because they beat the Jazz in 6, then they beat the Heat in 5.
Tony, interesting how we start going back through these actual teams that they played, and it's not as like illustrious as it makes it everybody sound, is it?
Right.
It's like when we
First
start
off-
going through the actual teams that he played, we're like, Drazen Petrovic and the Nets.
hold on.
First
Hey,
off-
Drazen was the man. Yeah, Drazen was the man.
Look,
He was the man. Drazen Petrovic was a great scorer.
He was
Great
a
shooter.
I will say this though, okay, so we can't use that year. What about their 96 finals? Because they went through the Sonics, they swept Orlando, which had Shaq and Penny. Okay?
Revenge.
To sweep them, that was important.
That's a good one.
Then they beat the Knicks and they beat the Heat.
So hold on, who was
It's a
on
good
that
one.
team?
Who
Was
was on
Patrick Ewing still on that team?
Ewing and Starks.
Yeah,
Nobody.
Ewing,
Ewing Starks.
Starks.
Okay.
Anthony
Um,
Mason.
And then what about the Heat? Who was on that roster?
Let's take a look.
That would have been like Dan Marley and
That would've
fucking
been like Heat?
Alonzo Mourning.
Dan Marley.
No, Marley wasn't on the team then because he was
Oh,
playing
shit.
on the Suns.
I thought that was either Rex.
Tim Hardaway.
Yeah. Those are good teams. Eddie Jones.
Kurt Thomas. He was on that team.
It's and that's so we're gonna say that was his most difficult championship run, right?
And they lost one game going into the NBA Finals.
Okay, so but the question, so would that run be more difficult than LeBron with the team as it's constructed right now and all the things that we've talked about and all the flaws in that roster, leading the current iteration of the Lakers past a dominant Spurs team, the returning champion Oklahoma City Thunder that just got better, and then a Celtics team that has been rolling through the NBA without Jason Tatum, now getting a mostly healthy Jason Tatum back. Adding on, averaging a triple-double in the finals.
I will say this while you thinking, Andor. I will say this: if LeBron does that, he'll put himself even more as probably the greatest small forward in history. But I still don't think it's enough to get past MJ.
Will as a Michael guy. I gotta say, it's gotta put him up there. It has to, because we talk about.
I'm not saying. Look, it's like for me, it's like
one of the best.
It's like one. It's like 1A and 1B for me.
I was gonna say I'd hope he'd already be up there because like Jordan is right there for me. It's not like I shit on Jordan just to like I'm like I think it's very close. Like I think it's really, really close between the two. Like I think they're like fucking neck and neck. I think you could.
So my argument would be that I don't think you can. For me, it's. I watched Jordan play like that. It was something special that you got to watch Jordan play. I don't know if I could put it as the GOAT. I will put it as the best or second best playoff run that a player has made. Because it's got to be up there with Dirk. I will put that up there as 1 or 2 as the greatest playoff run. Because you cannot beat the second best team in the West, who Victor Wembanyama has only gotten better. A very dominant and depthful Oklahoma City Thunder team, the defending champs. And then to beat the Boston team with Jason Tatum coming back.
A Celtics team that is like wins away from being a dynasty at this point.
Yeah.
Like they're a couple W's away from being a dynasty.
I will say this though. Ain't none on Michael's team was losing to the Dallas Mavericks like Bron did.
I think that fucking Dirk Nowitzki dominates that 1996 Chicago Bulls roster.
Don't matter.
Like it is fucking going out of style. Dirk Nowitzki wasn't missing shots at that point. There wasn't.
He can score all the points he wants. The Bulls overall was better than that Mavericks team.
Yeah. There was something.
I would agree with that probably, but
there was something about the 96, 97, and 98 Bulls that they did not get pushed around often. And when it came to crunch time, that was the hardest team to beat in the NBA.
And remember, they played defense. That whole team played defense 94 feet.
Yeah.
That whole team played defense without the 3-second illegal defense though as well. So
that's true.
It's a whole different game.
They played more physical defense though. Like I mean, you can't. You
But you
cannot
can't play physical. You can't play physical defense in the NBA right now.
No, you can't. And
Not
if
now
they
you
did play
can't.
physical,
No.
dude, yeah, I don't know. I'm a 90s basketball. Give me 90s basketball every day of the week.
I'm there. I'm there.
I don't like these 145 to 135 point games. I don't like these 150 point games. Give me a 98 to 96 slugfest, 78, 85. Like give me 80 points where there's defense.
Right.
I don't think you truly enjoy watching basketball if that's the case, though, because like obviously, yes, like defense is good. Like defense should be played, but like I think that scoring the basketball is the most exciting. Like chicks dig the 3 ball. Like that's
Okay.
it's
Well,
a
that's
Which-
what. And I agree with that. I agree with that.
I want people to earn it. Like I can watch a game today and watch 6 or 7 people just drive and dunk. You didn't.
It's
see
not
that
true.
whole- You
It's not
didn't
true.
see that a whole hell of a lot in the 90s.
Hold on. Let's have him go.
not in the playoffs. There's not like there's defense played in the playoffs. 100%.
Hold on. Let's have him go. Let's have him go. Go 7.
You're seeing 10 times more three-point shots now than you were in the 90s.
Yep.
That long ball is so much more a big piece of NBA's game today than it was in the 90s. And you can't tell me, because of the much higher number of guys that are 6'10 and above in the NBA now, that it is easier to shoot a 3-point shot in the NBA now than it was in the 90s. Because you're shooting guys that are 6 inches to a foot taller. Could you imagine Muggsy Bogues trying to shoot a 3 with Victor Wembanyama guarding him?
Not happening.
Like think about that for a second. Like and that's
an entire team of Sean Bradley's that he would be playing against.
It's right. And so you're looking at the reason that I like the game now, because like I love 90s basketball. That's where I came in. I watch games, I watch the Suns, I watch Barkley. I grew up with that stuff. So it's like I get it.
Yeah.
But the game now is so much more. It's not just offensive. There's so much more skill and finesse involved with how the ball moves, because you have to have every team has to move the ball like Jason Kidd and Steve Nash did in the 90s. Mm-hmm. Like it has to be on a dime. You have to be doing no look passes. You have to know where every single team member is and every single defense member at every time. You can't get away with sloppy stuff now like you could in the 90s.
Right.
And I think that's where the game today is better, because the skill level, as much as we want to talk about the greatness of guys like Braun or like Jordan and Kobe and Ewing and Barkley and Shaq and all these other guys, the skill required in today's game is so much higher than it was in the 90s.
I don't know if that's okay. So I agree. 7, obviously I'm agreeing with you on this, but the thing is, I don't know if the talent was that much different, or if the talent was put in different areas and the game was played so differently that say there was dudes who you knew were post players in the 90s. Okay. Like there was guys who you knew were post players. Bill Winnington was a post player for the Bulls, right? Akeem Olajuwon's post player, right? Alonzo Mourning, perfect example, post player. Okay.
David Robinson.
All that they've done now is those guys aren't a thing anymore. Like they call it positionless basketball, essentially is what they call it. So there aren't guys, like everybody can do everything. And if you can't, the game has passed you by, sort of. There's nobody who posts up anymore. Like there's no triangle offense. There's no dumping it into the post. Like that's purely what it is. I'm not saying that's a bad thing or a good thing. I'm just saying that's what it is. Like that's what they took when the 3-sec illegal defense thing went away and you can't, play in the lane and all this stuff. That's a huge thing. Like Luka Doncic literally quotes that as like, he said that when he came here from Europe, it was so much easier to play offense because of the illegal defense rule, where you can't be in the lane for 3 seconds. You can't just camp out. In international ball, you can camp out in the lane. You can just like San Antonio could just literally just set Victor Wembanyama right in the middle of the lane and let him just block shots. And so nobody's coming towards the rim. Like you can't do that anymore. You have to be out of the lane, right? And you'll see these guys kind of put their foot in and put their foot out or whatever. So the legal defense is a huge thing. It just spread the game out and just made everybody play like a small forward. Like if you're not a small point forward in the NBA now, like your skills are not privy to the right. So Greg Oden got kind of rolled over on that whole thing too, because Greg Oden was like this post player is a big deal, and like he just didn't have the skills required to play the spread out ball that it is in the NBA now. So like that's like I said, I don't think that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it is what it is, and that's what the game has evolved into being.
Just means that the game's changing. So
For sure. It's changed a ton. And like LeBron James played through every different fucking version of the NBA too. Like he's year 21, like 21 seasons ago, they were still playing like dude still ran the triangle offense. Like there was still, I mean, that was ran all the way into 2008 and 9 with Phil Jackson and those Lakers teams. Like they ran the
and we understand and we understand why the game changed. It was because it's due to analytics.
Yeah. Yep.
That's why the game changed.
Yeah, they realized they can if they can shoot this percentage. Yep. No, you're completely right, Will. Like if they can shoot this percentage from the 3, right? We're going to end up with more points at the end of the game in full. If we look at the numbers, we're going to end up with more points than if we just shot 2. So if we just like stick at 32.5% 3, we're going to make more points than if we're 50% from the field. And it's like and so it just became that kind of thing. And that's what it is. Like I can't undiscover it. Like Greg Popovich says that he thinks the 3-point line destroyed the game. So, and he might be as it was stated. It did kind of like, did it make it exciting or more exciting? I don't know. I don't know if it did or not. Cause like, I never saw it played when Naismith created it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if it like for real, like, I don't know, like if when there wasn't a 3-point line, like, I don't think it was probably more exciting because I think they just probably threw it inside the whole time. I think it was a lot of, you know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of close shots in there. Nobody's really throwing it up from 3 or whatever. But I don't know. So it's just changed.
Let me finish up the NBA topic real quick with this, and I'll go to each one of you. Does everybody like LeBron James's new role as being the 3rd option?
That's where he should be.
It's weird to see it, but yeah, I'm on board with it.
7. Oh,
you just finished up.
Damn.
No, it's sorry. It's where he should be at this point because his LeBron's impact at this point shouldn't be as much on the court as it is in the huddle and in the locker room. Because it's does he have the skill to be the number 1 still?
Yeah.
On a lot of teams,
yes.
Absolutely. But at his age, you shouldn't need it as a team.
Right.
And especially with the Lakers, you have guys like Luka that can score, Austin Reeves that can score. There's actually there's a good roster in LA. Like as much as people joke about the Lakers and their modern version, it's a good roster. And so when you have the freedom to put him as the 3, because like let's say he was on the Magic, he's not the 3, he's the 1. You're not going to put him behind
Paolo Banchero.
Franz
Wagner's not going to take over LeBron's.
So those teams, you see what I'm saying? But like with the way that the Lakers are set up right now, as much as we joke about it, JJ Redick has done a great job getting this team actually in a good motion and set up for success, not just now, but in the future. And LeBron, this is where LeBron should be. He shouldn't be the 1 at all. Like he should.
Well, when they say number 1, when they say number 3 option, they don't mean anything other than scoring. For one, he's the number 3 scoring option. If you have it like within the flow of the offense, if you have choices with those 3 guys on the floor, LeBron James would technically be your 3rd choice to go to if you're just going to ISO run a play. But the thing is, like he's playing off the ball, which he's like super fucking good at too, because his basketball IQ is fucking really fucking dude. He knows exactly where to fucking cut at. Like he's actually like. Weirdly kind of like I mean, look at his numbers. He's averaging, I mean, he's not averaging his highest scoring numbers, but like he's efficiency wise, he shoots over 50% from the floor. Like he's number 1 in the NBA in fast break points, which is a fucking, if you guys think about how crazy that is, like fast break points is literally just how fast you can get down the other end and score. So like he's still one of the fastest guys in the NBA. That's for sure. Like just watch the dude run on fast breaks and stuff. They talk about the train coming downhill and shit. That guy's still fast as fuck, dude. And he's huge. And he's still so fast. And like, so like they're talking about scoring the 3rd option. Yeah, he probably is. Like Austin Reeves creates ISO buckets like you would not believe. That guy's a beast. But and then there's obviously Luka, who we can go into. Like I fucking love Luka Doncic, but he's just an enigma that I can't crack. But he's a great scorer. Like obviously he takes dumb 3s a lot, but like but yeah, LeBron James, as far as like a facilitator and everything, like he should just be bringing the ball up the floor probably and just being a point, like just straight point guard, just run the plays for those 2 guys for sure.
Yeah,
would probably be the best. Yeah, and like that's probably the best role for him right now. But like defensively, he definitely is an above average defender at this point. Like obviously, you guys are talking about like you have to put effort in on defense. And like that's lacking sometimes in the NBA. It is, especially in the regular season. They play way too many fucking games. I think they do anyway. I think they should cut down like 65, but like that's neither here nor there. But yeah, no, he's the 3 option for sure scoring. But like he's like the best. He's the greatest glue guy of all time. Like if you have LeBron James as a glue guy, like yeah, you're looking like you should be okay, especially on offense. Like that's yeah. And they leak out and do all this crazy shit. They'll fucking throw full court passes and stuff, and like that kind of shit's weird. But like yeah, the full court passes like that just makes it look more like they don't play defense in the NBA. Because the dudes are leaking out fucking behind rebounds and shit, like getting full court passes and stuff. It's like that's just kind of weird. That's not really anybody not playing defense. That's just like fucking yeah, them just knowing like where the rebound's going to come off at and stuff. But anyway, yeah, LeBron's great there. Right.
I think he is too. I think this is the appropriate role because you got 3 dudes that can iso ball. You can't have a whole team of the same thing. Somebody's going to have to take a step back from scoring, and LeBron is the perfect person to do that.
For sure. And you got Rui Hachimura too, who's a good corner 3 ball. He hits a lot of corner threes. So you need one of those guys, kind of PJ Tucker type.
They picked up Luke Kennard. And
Kennard's a good spot up shooter.
I thought that was a good move for them. So yeah, for sure.
You know this about Luke Kennard? Will Luke Kennard is like a good connector guy too. He's a really good ball handler and shit. So like he'll just get it and like that dude never stops dribbling the ball. He'll have it with both hands, like he's just like hanging out. Like dudes are jumping for it and shit. He's just still dribbling it. You're like, that guy's a fucking he's a little magician but he's like a good connector. Like he makes good passes and shit. Plus obviously you get him in the spot up. He's a lefty. Oh yeah, and shoots. He shoots like what 40. He was leading the NBA in 3-point percentage. I think I think he still might be
something like that.
Yeah, like 42.5. I think is what last time I saw. But yeah, so like that's perfect. That's what you want. That's obviously you're talking about the analytics and shit. Just have everybody else be able to shoot. And Luka obviously makes one pass a game that you're like, what in the fuck? How did he even get it there? Yeah. Like he'll literally like spin it around people and shit. And you're like, what? Mm-hmm. How did he see that dude was there for one, and then have enough strength to get it there? And then it's just right in the pocket too. It'll be right in dude's shooting pockets. You're like, all right, Luka's very skilled, like almost too skilled to the point where he gets bored, and it's strange. Yeah.
All right. Before we get out of here, real quick, Seven, you got some baseball news for us?
Yes, actually. So this just dropped during the show. Clip this. Pete Crow Armstrong and the Chicago Cubs are in the process of finalizing a long-term deal that will keep him in Chicago for the foreseeable future. He is coming off of a 30-30 season, 30 home runs, 30 stolen bases, and a Gold Glove season. And the Mets are seriously regretting giving up Pete Crow Armstrong to the Cubs. Mm-hmm. He's going to be one of the faces of the league, and he is definitely now one of your faces of the franchise on the north side of Chicago.
Who was he dealt for? Do we know that? We should probably know if it's even going to be a legitimate trade at all. And we don't. So it's not good stuff.
They dealt the Mets dealt PCA to the Cubs for Javi Baez and Trevor Williams.
Yep.
Oof. So neither one made an impact.
Oofta.
Bad trade.
Huge fan.
The front office boy.
Well, Javi Baez ended up being kind of a disappointment for everybody because he went to Detroit and in Detroit now he's kind of a little better in Detroit, but he was he really got everybody's hopes up in Chicago there for a second, and then it was like, woo, he got his money and pulled a dick and fucking bounced out of there.
Yep. Yeah, and
he was like, hey, I got paid. See ya. He's like, batting practice. What? I don't do that shit anymore. I get paid too much.
You already talked
batting
about
practice.
You boy, don't pay Dan, boy. You pay Dan, he gone.
Batting practice.
We talking about
you pay Dan, he gone.
Talking about practice, man.
We talking about practice. Not
a game. Not the game
that I love, that I die for. We talking about practice.
Javi Baez was fucking up there in Detroit, just Rock City and out, bud. He was fucking not going to practice.
A lot of teams. Like production wise, like I'm sure in the clubhouse he's still a pain in the ass, but production wise, Javi Baez has looked better in Detroit than I think he has with the other teams. Mm-hmm. We also, for extensions, we did also see Phillies Christopher Sanchez, who wasn't considered the ace last year. That was Zach Wheeler, but he's now definitely the front end of their rotation. He would be the ace on pretty much, I would say, out of the 30 teams in baseball, Christopher Sanchez is easily the ace on at least 24 of them.
But Smith had him.
What did he get? He get paid?
Yeah, he got another. They added an extra 3 years and gave him a raise because he still had 3 years left on his current deal, but they added another 3 years and gave him some more money.
Damn.
He earned it. I mean,
is that uncommon to sign somebody with 3 years left?
No, not really. It depends on how early they get good.
I mean, yeah, I mean, some of it's going to depend on that, but you don't want a guy like that unhappy because that's your ace. He had a huge impact on the Phillies' success last year, the tail end of the regular season and going into the postseason. And he's got a cannon for an arm. And
does it say what his per year is now, Tony? Like what they jacked it up to? Because I bet it was like 3 or 4 million. I bet they jacked it up to like 15.
They added the new deal added about an extra $103 million
for 3 years.
$1 million over that 3 years. So he was on a deal that was supposed to put him at 22.5 through 2008.
Oh,
so
Jesus.
Probably looking at like 30 to 40 realistically. Ooh. I would say on average, which should be. He is.
No, he's worth it. Yeah, he's worth it.
Absolutely worth that money. And Phillies fans should be happy because your ace.
They're probably getting him on a deal.
Oh yeah, because if he's on the free agent market right now, the Dodgers are throwing $50 million a year at him. The Mets are throwing $50 million a year at him. The Yankees are probably throwing 40 to 50 at him.
Yeah.
There's I mean, pretty much every team in baseball is going to at least try to get him for 40, but he's going to get signed for 50 to, I would say maybe even more than 50 million a year, depending on if somebody really wants to throw some money at him. So
that Yankees free deal was 5 years, 201. So think about that as like a guideline. Free's not even known to be that kind of a arm either, really. So
that's there's some serious money in the realm of what he would get if he were to try and ask for a new deal. So I think the Phillies made the smartest move they could, and just here's a raise, here's a contract extension, go win us a bunch of baseball games.
Do you guys think
this could be a Cy Young contender?
Do you guys think a lot of that money, though? A lot of that money, I mean, we could probably just look this up, but like a lot of that money is like future. So like they're betting futures on a lot of this money, right? Like these guys don't have that amount of money just up front. If somebody was like, "Hey, I want all of my money now," right? Like I want all of it, like in the fucking. Because some of these deals are fucking outrageous. Like
you're saying, they don't have a lot of guaranteed money up front. It's more like backloaded.
Well, no. I'm saying like
their money's guaranteed.
All their money's guaranteed. Yeah. So Major League Baseball is all its guarantees. Like they don't have those guys are going to get that money at some point. My question is, if somebody were to come to them and be like, "Hey, we want all of that money up front," like that, those numbers are not just coming like up front, right? Like a lot of this is bet on like the future earnings of that team and all of this stuff. Correct? I'm actually asking this as a question. I think it's it has to be a little bit on future stock, right? Like it has to be like.
Because this year is his age 29 season. So as you look at a guy like Christopher Sanchez, you're thinking about, okay, if he's in his prime right now,
he's probably 25 years old.
5 years. No, because this is his age 29 season. He turns
30. Oh, okay, he's 29. Okay, Jesus.
So yeah, he's 29. So think in the next 3 to 5 years, this is going to be when you are going to get the most production out of this guy. So do we put this money in his pocket and make sure that he's going to stick around, or do we drag our feet, allow issues to pop up, and end up having to
be the Red Sox?
Yeah, exactly. Be the Red Sox.
Yeah.
Be one of these.
Let Xander Bogaerts
up. No, Red Sox shouldn't have paid Xander Bogaerts. They should have let him go.
Yeah, right. for that number. Oh my God.
Yeah, but when you think about it, because and I just pulled up, according to SportTrack.com, which if you're ever wondering information on player contracts, it's a great website.
SportTrack.
SPOTRAC, SPOTRAC.com.
Okay.
And so Christopher Sanchez this year is actually making about $6 million. Next year is the same. And then it goes up to 15, and then it goes 9, 15, 16, 30, and then the last year of the deal, the way it sits now, is a club option that would give him 44.5, and he would be 36 at that point. So you're backloading a lot of that deal, hoping that you're going to get a lot of production out of him now, and that you can opt out before you have to give him $45 million for a season.
Or that he'll refinance the deal.
Yep. Or if they redo the deal. Yep.
And and Christopher Sanchez can still get loans on that 45 mil that he's going to make in 2031.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He can still just go, well, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, it's all guaranteed. So yeah, go ahead and give me that right now. And they'll just take that off. Yeah. So like he'll be fine.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Financially, he's good.
MLB season starts Wednesday. Handful of games that are going to be.
Don't call off from work.
Going on
that day. Kevin, don't call off from work.
There's only one game.
I took Wednesday off. I'm not.
Good job.
So and my day Wednesday, and so here's the thing: the only game Wednesday, the opening day of the season, is the Yankees versus the Giants. So Max Fried versus Logan Webb. Of course, you're not going to have Garrett Cole pitch that first night in his first return back to the game, being having to face Rafi Devers because
that might break his psyche forever. Like we might not ever get Garrett Cole back from the fucking precipice of wanting to kill himself after he just gets touched up by Rafi Devers for the
he saw Rafi
7th straight time.
Thought he wasn't going to have to deal with him very much anymore, and now he's finding out that if he comes back during that series, he's going to have to face him again.
We'll just have to hope Rafi's drunk or.
So that day I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna go get a cold plunge and a sauna in, do some yard work, and then Wednesday night I'll have baseball and podcast all night.
Will, what do you think about Seven ruining a perfectly good bathtub with putting ice in it? Like, what's up with that?
No, this place that I go to, it's not.
What a weirdo.
They put the water in, and it's got like a radiation system in it. You set the temperature, and it cycles the water through it, so it stays at a nice warm 50 degrees for a cold plunge.
That is not warm. I am not doing
compared to an ice bath. That's very warm. But I could sit. I did 20 minutes last time, and I think I'm gonna try and do that again because that's so good.
Have you guys? I don't know what movie it is, but it's the clip with John McGinnis and Steve Carell from that new show. I think it's on Amazon Prime where they're sitting in the sauna, and he goes,
"Rooster."
Rooster.
Yeah.
Where he goes. Has it been 15 minutes yet? 90 seconds, Greg. But you're gonna love the contrast to the cold plunge. Can't wait. And then he's in the cold plunge screaming.
Honestly, man, going from a sauna to a cold plunge, like it's a shock at first because like man, that first couple of seconds you hit, like I hope the rooms for the place that I go are soundproof because my voice hits a fucking falsetto and I didn't know I could hit it. But once you get settled into that water after the first couple of minutes, everything starts to go numb. And your muscles start to relax, and it is the best feeling. I get out of that cold tub, and I feel better than like if I went to a chiropractor. Like I feel like I just stretched for 30 minutes and did yoga. Like I just feel fucking and the endorphins, man.
I was gonna say
dopamine. Oh my god!
So that's most of what you're doing it for is the actual chemicals in your brain that because your body literally is telling it's going you're dying right now. Like we need to repair everything. Like everything needs to get like be on board with what we're doing because like you're dying. Like there's no reason why you should be in this cold water, and it's literally thinking that, and you're not. So you're getting like the chemicals that your brain probably needs at a fucking at a very like what's the word I'm looking for? At a very like base level, you need those chemicals in your brain to say like, hey, we're dying, like we're running from a giraffe, like we're running from a wolf. You know what I'm saying? Like those kind of chemicals, like it needs them pretty bad. So like that'll make you feel better too. But yeah, keep it up, bro. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna ruin a fucking perfectly good bathtub to put ice in it. But yeah, it's fucking good for you, man.
Finish off in a nice vitamin C infused shower. Feels good on the skin, nice and relaxing.
I do love a good cinnamon scrub.
Hey, sugar scrubs, man. Those will do some wonders for your skin, man. Don't sleep on them.
All right. We are out.
Meanwhile, Will, we're just going to talk geek on the podcast on Saturday, right? That's what we're doing. That's what we got. That's what we got to look forward to. Ain't no cinnamon and sugar scrubs for us. We're just going to go right into the geek on the podcast on Saturday.
All right, we are out of time for today.
You need to find a good spot, Ando.
But before we go, we're going to show you every show that we have here on Wide Network. Check them out.
I like to better when we can talk. through the intro.
And
Fucking
definitely
listen to the outro, Dan.
and definitely show your appreciation for all the fine shows we have here on Wire Network.
It's
7,
fucking
go ahead and close us out, 7.
corporate route we've
Thank you
taken.
for thank you for joining us tonight for Sports Report Podcast. We are part of the Wire to Wire Sports Network. Great shows every morning and evening, which you're going to see a showcase of here at the end, hosted by individuals that love to share their information, experience, and opinions with you, and love to interact in the chat. So please make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Definitely check out some of our other shows. You catch me and Ando and Dan on Wednesday night, podcast named Deferred at 10 p.m. Eastern. We will be there. Thank you for supporting us, everybody, and have a good night.
Remember when we were doing the podcast to open our minds? Remember?
Shut up and listen to the outro, Dan.
When we were doing it to open our minds,